What is up, Kart Lifers? Welcome to Kart Life. Before I drop this list, I want to give a big disclaimer. We're in a weird time with Mario Kart Tour where the future of the game may or may not be hanging in balance, as data miners have not exactly found yet any information in the game files about content post the 4th anniversary coming up this fall. Now let me be clear, this does not mean the game is ending its service at the 4th anniversary. Not only would they give us a long heads up if they were to do that anytime soon, but they can always add data and content at any given update on the beginning of a tour. There's one perspective in the community right now that Nintendo may put Mario Kart Tour into an autopilot looping mode where tour themes repeat year after year with no new content really coming out. This is why they say that all the new retro tracks have been dumped into the game in the past year. But on the other hand, if Nintendo added all these retro tracks in the last year, who's to say they might not have a new phase of adding a bunch of drivers or other changes to the game? There are still things in the game files that leave big question marks. There are plenty of kart IDs, glider IDs, fewer driver IDs, but they can always add more of these, and they've done this in the past. There are also changes to how the game works that Mario Kart Tour could implement so that even if it did go into a cycling mode in the future or the end game post Booster Course Pass, the game could still evolve in ways that improve the quality of life of the gameplay, as well as even changing the meta. In my previous video, I talked about drivers that Mario Kart Tour should add to this game before it closes down one day. The big 8 original characters that I think absolutely should be added before all said and done. In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 easy fixes and 5 big changes that Mario Kart Tour could and should implement to revitalize and perhaps even save Mario Kart Tour as we go into the post Booster Course Pass era. I also want to briefly say it's been my vibe since the beginning of this channel to present big ideas using my imagination of what this game could do to realize its full potential. And I realize the hopes and expectations that might create among some people who are watching. I've toned it down in the recent year or two just because I don't want to put all these things out there that should be happening and then they never end up happening and we get disappointed. I passionately believe that we should be hyping responsibly. So please take all this as seriously or as unseriously as you want. Nintendo, if you are listening, I hope you'll take some of this to heart. I do try to keep my pulse on the hopes and wishes of the player community as best I can. At the same time, we all know Nintendo's going to do whatever they want, and it's always what we don't expect. So we should go into the future of the game and maybe the end game with high hopes, low expectations. And I want to hear all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Okay, we're at the stream desk over here and we're going over 10 small fixes and 5 huge fixes for Mario Kart Tour. Again, like I said, the game is in an uncertain time right now. There's no track ID gaps between now and the 4th anniversary. There's not a lot of driver gaps left. It seems like there might not be any new content coming unless there's a big update coming soon. However, all of these things still apply because what I'm talking about is how to extend the life of this game. Even if there's no new tracks coming in the future, let's say they're done with all the tracks, there are still ways they could prolong the life of this game for another 3 or 4 years and get a lot of use out of all this, besides adding mirror mode, which I'm not even going to address in this video. But we're calling this the accept all, send all greeting coins memorial wish list because no, that is not going to be on this list. A lot of people commented they want accept all greeting coins, send all greeting coins. You think Nintendo is just going to make a button where you can collect a couple hundred coins just like that from doing nothing? No, they're not going to do that. They want you to see your friends' scores. That's never going to change, so stop asking for it. Now, let's get into the list. So here we go. 10 small fixes for Mario Kart Tour that we've needed for so long. Here we go. First, display the action count on your results screen. It's so easy. We click actions and we get that nice list of actions, but how cool would it be just to see that little action count number on the results screen? This is like a player and fan request because we're always sharing those screenshots with each other. I don't know if Nintendo's even aware of how much we're doing that online in the Discord communities and so forth, but we really would love to see that. Just a little quality of life touch. Add that action count on your initial results screen. 2, a simple quality of life update giving the ability to instantly use all your point cap tickets to fill up to the next threshold of your cap. Or let's say you want to go to level 6 with something. Now maybe we can keep doing the levels one at a time, but at least with the base points tickets, just say have a max button, max up to the next cap. Easy as that. It would also be nice while I'm thinking of this like kind of quality of life batch move making that you can do. It would be great to do more coin rushes if you wanted to in the coin rush menu, but I digress. Going up to 100 friends on the friends list. I know this may require like additional space in the game or in the server or whatever computer stuff I don't know about, but I still want more than 50 friends on our list. I think it would be great. It encourages more community networking. They want you to play with your friends. They want you to send greeting coins. So go ahead and give us 100 friends. I'd be able to add a bunch more pit crew members in as well. And so it's something I would love to see. Add more filters in auto mode. Apparently another filter or two has been data mined, but I don't remember them coming in. We got one random new filter. Just go ahead and throw some more filters in there. I know you can do it. In all the Switch games, there's all these other cool filters. And I know they could add some more into auto mode. And this is just a little personal pick just because I love the screenshots and appreciating the visual beauty of the track. So let's do that. 5 is don't reuse ACR badges. Now, I know some people will say that, oh, it's fine if they reuse an ACR badge because the people that didn't get it the first time now have a chance to get it. Okay, I understand that. And all due respect to the people who are new to the game, I'm so glad you're playing the game. But the way I look at it is if you miss the ACR badge the first go around, it can be a different badge this go around, especially if there's a new character. Now, we might not have a lot of new characters over the next year, or we might have a lot, I have no idea. But I would love to see unique ACR badges for each tour, and I know a lot of the ACR players would agree. I think there's some players who don't even bother really grinding that hard if they don't love the badge. It's silly as a badge is, a lot of players use that as their motivation to play ACR or go for a top 100 or even a top 10 run. 6 is fix the bugs, and there's so many bugs I don't even know where to begin. I started off by saying fixing red shells. If you know this game, you know that red shells just don't work very well. I don't think anyone would complain if they slipped in a little bit of a buff to the red shell accuracy. You know, bots can hit you from a mile away, halfway across the track with a red shell, but most of our red shells don't even go to anything, especially if we're in a frenzy. They're really bad. I would love to see that just slightly improved out of nowhere. I could see them doing it too, but there's so many other bugs, guys. Coins falling through the ground in coin box, coins falling off through the walls, got phantom straighteners on tracks, little glitches in the surface of the road on Peach Gardens, for example, glitching out of a track completely on so many half-pipe sections, places where you get completely yanked out of the track, the Waluigi Stadium music being too soft. Guys, I know that all Mario Kart games have glitches, and that's part of the fun of Mario Kart is exploiting those glitches, and we have exploited them. But, you know, I would love to see the dev team say, you know what, we're going to spend this week, and might take longer than a week. Again, I don't know how any of this stuff works. I'm just spitballing here, but let's take a week where we just fix some bugs. We just fix a bunch of bugs that are in the game. Let's work on that for a week or two before we close up shop. You know, I would love to see that. Showing loadouts and track records in your thumbnails. So what I want is to be able to click on the thumbnail of a track, for example, Squeaky Clean Sprint, and I want to be able to see my record there. I want to see who I got it with, what the action count was, and I want to see what the top shelves are on that track. This is a little bit of a bigger change that would require a good amount of coding and extra stuff they'd have to add into the game, but I've really always wanted this. Now, they might not want us to see what the top shelf loadouts are on all the tracks. You know, we've built trackers and other resources in the community to help us figure out what those loadouts are, or like the ACR bot on our Discord servers, but maybe they don't want us to know, but we know anyways. So since we know anyways through the trackers and bots, just give it to us in the app. Let us click on a track and it shows everything that's top shelf on that track, so we can kind of plan and strategize accordingly and be more actively involved in the game. Let us access it right there. This is a tiny little bug, but show the level of your item in all of the screens that display the item. Sometimes, you know, if you're in the shop, you'll click on an item you already have and it doesn't show you what level you have it at. So I would love a little more consistency across the board where it has that check mark next to where you have that item in your inventory. 9 is stop decreasing the good odds in pipes. Now, you guys need to know, you haven't done this in a while, but you've definitely done it many, many times. You have nerfed the rates of high ends in the token shop pipe, the daily selects, all sorts of places. Just stop doing that. In fact, buff them. And while I'm at it, buff the gold pipes you get as gold pass rewards. You get 1 gold pipe every 3 months, and it's most of the time something you don't even need or use. Would it really kill you, and would it really make my account so overpowered if I got 1 gold pipe per month? It's still going to be a crap cart that I don't ever use. Just throw us a bone and don't limit things as much as they've been limited. Just sneak in a little extra addition to those high-end rates, especially if we're going into Endgame, where it's going to be more about collecting things we don't have. And I'm going to get to that in just a second because I have an idea for that. But I would love to see you at least stop decreasing the rates, please. 10 is probably the biggest of the small fixes. I almost could put this in the big changes list because it's my most wanted little fix, and it is add instant replay. This is one of the best features in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's so amazing to be able to rewatch your run, and I don't need to have it from all the crazy camera angles that you have in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I would be fine just watching it first person exactly like it is, just replay the race. Now, from what data miners tell me and the tech heads out there, this would require a lot of doing on their part because they have to somehow have enough memory to be recording that run, right, and playing it back for you every time. But is there a way? Is there a way? Is someone listening out there at Nintendo or DNA or Bandai and someone's got the brain power to figure out how to do this? I think it would be an incredible gift to the player base if they would add an instant replay and allow us to share all of our best runs on social media, on YouTube. Continue engaging with other people as we share our runs and bring more people into this game. There you go. And we're at the 5 big changes. Guys, I'm very excited to talk about the most important changes I would love to see Mario Kart Tour make still, even as we look towards a sunset era of the game. These are things that could really, really revitalize it. I would argue are more important than ever to address if we are going into an in-game mode of Mario Kart Tour. Here we go. Number 1, fix battles. There's 4 things that need to happen with battles. Battles have kind of been the laughing stock of the game. I'm sorry. There was so much hype for them. Battles have an amazing legacy in this franchise, and Nintendo, I'm not going to be mean, I'm not going to be harsh, but they are the laughing stock of the game, especially as battle mode originally didn't work. But the fact that we only have a few repeating tracks, the fact that there have been so many exploits people have had, the fact that they're in ACR and repeat over and over, just no. Here's what you need to do, okay? 4 things. Get them out of ACR. I know you removed the coin counting and the mushroom stuff that we were exploiting, that players were exploiting. And that's great that you addressed that. But I'm not convinced that players are not going to find some other way to exploit scores. No one even wants them in ACR. The reason we don't even want them in ACR is because when you're grinding these tracks, and this leads to my number 2 point, don't have them in ranked. Just never have them in ranked again, because yes, it's kind of a fun idea at first, and I even thought myself when this was announced for the game, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have battles in ranked, see what happens. But the way it is now, since it's so action count based, in single player, you're just going for coin box frenzies, driving around in circles. That's literally all you're doing. And yes, you're trying to get hits. Yes, you want to get well fought bonus, but come on, let's face it, you're fishing for coin box frenzies with Meowser on Twilight House, or King Mario, or now Gold Luigi Knight on Cookie Land. That's all you're doing. The other skills don't even work very well. Boomerang, you're hitting all your other opponents. Lucky 7, you're, again, ending the race too soon, although it can kind of work sometimes. They're hard to pull, Lucky 7 frenzies. All I'm saying is just get them out of single player. I still think that would be a really welcome change. And here's what you could do to make it actually fun to open up that multiplayer menu and play battles, which is add more battle tracks. And I know that most battle tracks from the history of Mario Kart are way too ambitious to add to this game. A lot of the battle tracks that people request are just a no, because they're too ambitious. They just are. But you could add Big Donut from N64. It's already a big circle. We're going in circles anyways. I know it's going to be hard to hope or ask that Nintendo build new tracks, because we might be at the end of the new tracks. But if you really want to revitalize the next era of the game, add a few more battle tracks so that it's fun to go into battle menu and to play these tracks. And additionally, add the correct music. You guys put the same default battle music in all the tracks. It's really not that hard. It can't take that much work to port in the original songs from each battle track. It gives the impression that you guys phoned this in. And do you want that? Is that how you want the fans to have seen how battle was handled in this game. It's not too late to fix battles, and those are the ways you can do it. The second of the 5 big changes, I don't know how else to say this except cap the Miis. Cap the Miis. Now, it might be too late. The Miis are already so overpowered with the ones we have now. We're now where a base level Mii, if you have all the suits, is the equivalent of a triple capped high-end driver, 1400 plus base points. This is not okay. Now, we're just at this place right now where, because of how they are selectively assigning buff values and buff streaks to certain plus skill non-Miis like Toad Astronaut or Shy Guy Explorer, Blue Shy Guy Explorer, there is still a fighting chance for those regular characters. Let's keep it that way. Let's please keep it that way. I love that the Miis, look, I'm a fan of the Mii meta, and I'm also here to defend people who hate the Mii meta, because so many of the comments I had in my post asking you guys about changes to the game, it was like, kill the Miis, I hate the Miis, stop the Miis, put it into it, cap the Miis over and over and over. I know the whales love them. I love them too. I love using them as my specialist. I have that gold Mii suit. I'm coming in and I'm so OP every time it comes in, and I want every Mii suit for that reason. And I love it as an in-game, like highest end tier 80 and above collectible for the top tier players. That's all fine and great. But can we make it balanced for other players as well in the meantime, where it's fun and you don't feel completely deflated by how overpowered the Miis are? There's ways to do this. Some people talk about making a 5th cap level for, or a level 9 for only non-Miis. I'm sorry, but no, I don't see them adding something else that's only available to non-Miis. It doesn't make sense to me. Miis are still high-end drivers. They're all in the same batch. They're high-end drivers. That's what they all are. I don't see them doing that. I'm sorry to rain on the parade of, but I just don't see them going that obtusely out of the way to specifically buff all the non-Miis with a certain feature, like an unlock or a ticket. But through the buffing, they really could make things more balanced. You know, it's almost too late, but there's still a little life left in this game. When it comes to drivers, they could be adding more. They could still steer this ship where those plus skill, especially non-Miis, could have a fighting chance with the tracks they are given, right? What tracks are they given? And there's got to be a way to do this, especially when it comes to bringing older drivers back into the picture. Now, the problem is a lot of the older drivers have seen all of the tracks. When we say, you know, tracks left to see, they're not going to get the buff if they've already been on the track before. But what if, and I'm just thinking outside the box here, because if we're going into an end game of Mario Kart Tour, we need to think a little bit outside the box of ways they could flip the game on its head and make it a new game again. One of the ways is, what if old drivers could actually get new buffs on tracks they've already seen? I don't know. Why not? Why not shake things up with the buffs? It probably won't happen, but I'm just trying to get creative here and think about any possible ways to balance out non-Mii drivers. But in the meantime, cap them. And yeah, you can keep releasing Mii suits. We don't have tons of Mii suits. We shouldn't have a Parabiddy-Bud Mii suit before we have a, you know, Kamek Mii suit, but that's just the way it is right now. Keep releasing the suits, but cap the Miis now. Just do it. Just do it, okay? Honestly, I don't think it's going to happen, but I have to mention this because it's one of the most requested things from fans. 3, please restore ranked rubies. I might be asking a lot here, guys, but the ranked rubies, you guys, in first place, it used to be so good. It used to be more than 5 rubies to get first place. Yeah, it was 40 rubies. We need more of an incentive to spend our resources, because isn't that what Nintendo wants us to do, is spend our tickets, so we have to spend money and buy more real tickets? We're not going to do that if only 5 more rubies and a few hundred coins are on the line for first place. I don't understand why they did this. I have never understood why they did this. And if you're not going to add more rubies back into first place, can you incentivize first place with something else? I've mentioned a few times already that we need coins, okay? We're not getting the coins we used to because they're not pipe pulls as a regular part of our experience. Especially, you know, yes, we get the multiplayer pipes and the token pipes, but we're still getting fewer coins overall than we used to. because there's fewer high ends popping up. You know, this is one of the reasons why balloons could be worth more coins. But what if first place had way more coins at stake? Why can't there be 10,000 coins for first place ranked? Again, would that make or break anyone's game? No, it would allow me to buy one more high-end ticket in the shop. That's all it would do. But still, psychologically, 10,000 coins for first place, I would actually try harder to spend resources and get that first place position. As is now, you've really killed the drive to compete for first. Anyone who's competing for first at this point is only doing it just out of their inner sense of competitiveness. A long time ago, year or 2 years ago, I've been saying that you should only tier up the first place position also, because if you only had tiering up in first place, then yeah, players really would want to spend resources and get into first so they can advance to those higher tiers, get that gold me suit at tier 80, whatever. But please come up with some way to incentivize getting first place in ranked again. Fourth big idea is ACR rewards. Now, yes, we have the total points challenge card where you get almost 1 million points and you get some tickets and things like that and rubies. That's all great. But Nintendo, you should know you have a whole other stratosphere of players that are always going for top 100, top 10, way more than 1 million points. Now, what if we had actual rewards for top 1,000, top 100, and top 10? And sure, you could say top 500, top 5,000, whatever, but let's just say top 1,000, top 100, top 10. I'm just throwing some numbers out there off the top of my head, but let's just say, I don't know, we need more coins. We need tickets also, because sometimes you don't get them in your daily selects. Let's say that for top 1,000, you get 10,000 coins. Again, just the price of one ticket. It's not going to make or break anyone's account, but top 1,000, you get a little 10,000 coin prize, and you get 6 high-end tickets. 2 driver, 2 carts, 2 gliders. Top 100, we're giving you 100,000 coins. Too much? I don't know. Okay, 50,000 coins, whatever. And 12 tickets, 4 of each type. Top 10, 100,000 coins and 18 tickets. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. You guys can tweak them and we can change these numbers and talk about them all we want till we're blue in the face. I don't even need more rubies because we're not doing pipe pulls, but I do need the game to give players more coins and more chances at tickets. Give us a reason to spend resources, and then you give some of them back to us as a present. Thank you for all you dumped into this game. Here's a little compensation package for all that you just spent. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think it'd be awesome for ACR and really revitalize that spectrum of the player base. And finally, the biggest and most important big change that Mario Kart Tour needs to implement as it goes into its in-game era is some new game-changing way to flip this game on its head. I have ideas for this. I have multiple ideas for this. A simple one is a time trial ranked mode. I've talked about this for years now, but how cool would it be if, and I know a lot of you guys don't love time trial. Okay, fair enough. And you know, a lot of you guys don't like multiplayer either, but time trial has always been a big part of Mario Kart. You've always had to race your own records and your staff goes. And what if there was a time trial ranked for once each week? Maybe it's in that 4th slot of Ranked Cup. So you have 3 ranked racetracks, and then you have a time trial ranked, and you're in there and you're going up against randomly paired times for a time trial. And maybe here, instead of getting cap tickets, maybe it's here you get coins. Maybe the time trial ranked is only for coins, you know? Maybe you get, you know, 20,000 coins for getting first place in your time trial ranked. If you hate doing time trial, then okay, it's no big deal. You don't play ranked time trial. But for the people who do want to go for it, it could be a nice bonus to your account to get some extra rewards. Another thing I've mentioned that no one really talks about anymore from the early data mined beta days of this game is there was, from what legend says, and I've seen images of it floating around, a pin system or a badge system. You know, in an RPG, you can put a badge on a character to give them a special boost or power for a period of time for one battle. Well, let's say you could put a certain badge on a driver each tour. Maybe there's 4 badges. I actually remember them in this data mined image that I'm thinking of. There were 4 kinds of badges, and one was like speed, one was like, I don't know, point boosting, or maybe an extra frenzy badge. What if you could put an extra frenzy badge onto one driver per tour? I don't know, Nintendo, you guys work it out. I haven't thought through all the details, but some kind of badge or pin system where you put a badge on the driver, put a badge on the cart, put a badge on the glider. You get to choose what you do with those badges each tour and what your approach is going to be, how it could separate you into a new strategic path from all your opponents. This is the kind of stuff the game really could allow for and could really change the game in small but effective ways. But the biggest idea I want to say for a game-changing way to flip this game on its head and give us a whole new in-game period, something involving collecting things that we don't normally want to collect. Right now we only want to collect things that are top shelf and give us those coverage that we need, and the scoring system is just as it is. We know how all the scores worked for frenzies and action counts and having things up to level 8. And regardless of if they add level 9 or not, I'm not really even going to go into that in this video. What if we looked to games like Breath of the Wild, where as you collect all of these different drivers, carts, and gliders, if you get 3 that match in a set, you get a set bonus. This is the biggest idea I wanted to pitch to you guys and see what you think. And I want to see you guys in the comments break down how this would work. A set bonus for if you have a driver, a cart, and a glider that are part of a set. Just to give a few examples, let's say one set is Gold Charging Chuck, the Yellow Off-Roader, and the 8-Bit 1-Up Mushroom. Now I just picked a very meta set, but let's say that was a set. Okay, so what happens when you have all 3 of those items? Do you get the set bonus for just having those 3 items, or do you get the set bonus for using those 3 items together in a race, regardless of if they're top shelf or not? And then you're asking me, Sammy, well, what is the set bonus? What do you get? I don't know. There's a lot of ways they could probably do this. Maybe it's an extra, I don't know, 5,000 points just slapped onto the top of your score. So if you have a set bonus that includes like Baby Peach Cherub, the Cupid's Arrow, and the Rainbow Flappy Wings or something random like that. Okay, like, see, I threw in one meta item there and then a couple items that like people don't really think about as meta. What if you made the non-meta items meta by doing this? So yes, maybe Baby Peach Cherub, you would never ever use her, but what if you got a 4th frenzy chance, or the chance at back-to-back frenzies, or some other point boost that I'm not even thinking about as a set bonus? I think this could be extremely cool, because my dream is for Nintendo to be like, all right, you guys thought you had this game figured out. Now you're going to have to start collecting carts and gliders that you never thought you were going to have to collect before. And in fact, while I'm at it, I think it would be really cool to have something where if you collect all available carts, gliders, drivers, once this game is over, you get something awesome. Maybe that's the gold Mario unlock. When they finish releasing all drivers, carts, and gliders, you have to collect them all. That's right. So you have to keep grinding for rubies, keep grinding for coins, so you can keep buying all of those items. I think it'd be a really cool in-game thing. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about the set bonuses idea, ACR rewards, a time trial ranked mode, any of these others in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and make sure you leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and of course like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content on the future of Mario Kart Tour. And don't forget to send Nintendo in-game feedback with any of these ideas that you agree with. But above all, remember, as always, hype responsibly, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.